Crap, I forgot how to read.
I don't know how I survived, but I did. I know I don't have that much time left. I need to get my story out before it's too late. First off, I'm sure that lots of you loved trains when you were kids. When the train enthusiast bug bit me when I was a child, I became obsessed with trains. But of course, over time as I began to grow older, I got into other hobbies and interests. One of these was horror stories. I got hooked on stories like The Wendigo, La Llorona, and Bloody Mary. While some of these did creep me out a bit, at the end of the day, they were just stories meant to scare people. However, one story in particular piqued my interest in both horror stories and trains. The Legend of the Ghost Train. It all started around 3 months ago. I was at my college's library getting some college work done when I saw that I had a Twitter notification. Trevor Henderson, who is a Canadian illustrator, posted a new piece of artwork to his Twitter page. A picture of an unnerving creature dubbed the Train Eater. While I was fascinated by the design of this creature, I was wondering, how can a train be scary? Intrigued, I searched up scary trains on Google, and the first result was the Ghost Train. I looked into the Wikipedia page about the Ghost Train to do some more research. It said that ghost trains have been sighted in Canada, Japan, Sweden, the United Kingdom, and the United States. I wanted to know what types of ghost trains were in the United States and where. I then found out about a story about one that was very close to where my college was. From what I can remember, the story went like this. In the early 20th century, the Illinois Central had an old branch line near Baton Rouge, Louisiana. It primarily catered to freight service, but there were some passenger trains that would use this route. But this branch line was known for one of its locomotives, Number 9. It was reported that Number 9 had a reputation for its odd behavior.
Oh, come on. Why did the train stop responding all of a sudden?
Engineer Mike, what is going on? Why did we stop?
It's Number 9. It did it again. The brakes applied by themselves. I am now positive that this train is sentient.
Nobody knew why this was only happening to Number 9. Many mechanics even tried to see if there was anything internally wrong with the engine, but they couldn't find anything. Over time, train crews began to understand the nature and behavior of the engine. Whenever it had a job that would require entry of the branch line, it refused to work. But as long as the engine did assignments that did not require entry of the branch line, it would run. That is, until the Great Depression hit. Due to the economic hardships, the branch line was closed down, and the engines that worked on it were either sold off or scrapped. Number 9 was lucky and was sold off, but no one expected what was about to happen when it was leaving the branch line. When it was being fired up to head off to its new home, it began to roll out on its own power when the engineer and fireman briefly left the cab. It was headed straight towards a bridge that was being dismantled. Hours later, the remains of Number 9 were hoisted up. Number 9 was completely destroyed, and the remains of it were hauled off for scrap. Several years after the accident, paranormal activity reports began to spike in the area around the abandoned branch line. It was the ghost of Number 9. Its shrill whistle could be heard throughout the night as it makes its rounds through what's left of its branch line, taking anyone it catches trespassing. Now you may be wondering, what does this have to do with me? Well, a few days after finding out about the ghost train, one of my classmates, Robin Schmidt, was being harassed by a few other students for being a quote-unquote scaredy cat, and dared him to explore the abandoned branch line. Sticking up for Robin, I decided to do the dare for him, which the students harassing Robin allowed. I knew there was no ghost train. At least, that's what I thought. 2 days later, I went through with the dare. It was a Friday night, and the sun was setting when I arrived. I also had my camera with me to prove that I was there. I wandered around for a bit, until I found a few freight cars. The odd thing was, despite being clearly from the 1920s, they were in perfect condition. I decided to take a few photos, and that's when I heard it. What? No. I must have been hearing things. Why can't I move all of a sudden? Number 9 sensed my presence and used its powers to paralyze me where I was. I tried desperately to free myself until eventually I could move again. After number 9 disappeared into a cloud of smoke, I ran back to my car at breakneck speed and drove out of there. I have no idea how I managed to break free of number 9's grasp. Maybe it was sheer will. I didn't even bother to mention what I saw to Robin and the bullies. I do know that number 9 is still looking for me. I know it will find me. And I know there will be more people that will die if I don't get my story out. Please, stay away from the old branch line.